Back in 2015, I had to look in the mirror. I had to ask myself if the brand I was building for my company, for my image, my likeness, actually reflected me. And it didn't. But the bad part was it took me a few years to adapt and get on the right path. Let's talk about the brand that you're projecting in your community and if it's what you really want.
My goal is to help restaurant owners finally get to where they want to go. But more than that, my goal is to find entrepreneurs within that segment that actually know what it means to hustle. That's my goal. Come on the journey with me.
Restaurant Marketing Secrets, episode 304. I'm your host, Matt Plapp, and we're brought to you by America's Best Restaurants. America's Best Restaurants is on a path to help you, independent restaurant owners, find more frequent customers. Because currently you're reliant on new and lost faces. They aren't dependable. We want to help you drive more business that is predictable. And that starts with developing and cultivating a loyal customer base. What I meant by my opening statement when I said it took me a couple years to adapt was two parts. Number one, it was accepting that that was actually what needed to happen. And I had nobody in my ear telling me this. But number two was understanding that I was going to have to give up short-term gains for long-term gains. One of the biggest things I had to do was change my image in the market because I was trying to be something to everybody versus me to a specific audience. I remember wearing collared shirts, ties, suits, going to events dressed up in a monkey suit that wasn't me. Matt Plapp is a Jordan wearing, gym shorts wearing, sweatshirt wearing guy. And I never felt like myself, but I felt like I had to appease everybody else. And for me, that was part of my brand. And it also came down to my messaging. I had to realize that I couldn't help every restaurant. I tried. I had Minchie's franchises, Subway franchises, you name it, we worked with. And there's just not a place for every business to work with us. And I had to accept that, and I had to start realizing that if I wanted to survive long term and build a company I was proud of that represented what I believed, I had to go into a narrow lane and get really focused. Now, I'm bringing this up because I feel like there's a lot of restaurants that could use this message. There's a lot of restaurants trying to be everything to everybody. And there's also a lot of restaurants working too damn hard to sell food right now. Everything you do every day is about selling food. It can't be. If it's only about selling food right now to pay the bills, you might be in the wrong place. Because at some point, you have to draw a line in the sand and say, okay, yes, we have to do a certain amount of stuff this week, this month, this quarter to build our sales now. But we also have to do a certain amount of things today, this week, this month, this quarter to build the sales for 2 years from now. And until you make that decision, you're not going to survive long term. You can only run so hard every day. You can only ask your friends, your family, your loyal supporters to eat so many damn times. At some point, you've got to build a brand that drives people to you. And I understand the urgency of sales today. Trust me. I'm in the exact same boat as you with regards to cash flow. We are a growing company at a very, very, very big clip. So while your business might get hit with some cash flow issues due to sales and profits, mine gets hit with cash flow issues because we are growing by leaps and bounds, and it takes a lot of money, which means it steals our profit, which means some weeks we're in the same place as you. I was talking to a restaurant owner yesterday about in the past year, I have looked at our account on Thursdays and went, is there enough tomorrow for payroll? I already hit the button to process it. Now, I have money other places that I haven't pulled over here yet. And I had one day where it was like $3,000 difference. And when you have a payroll that's $50,000 or $60,000, you got to pay attention. So trust me, I understand the cash flow crunch as well as anybody that exists. But I also understand you got to draw a line in the sand and you've got to start doing things for the long term. And what I mean by this is you've got to start figuring out how to become the local restaurant everybody knows and likes, how to become the employer of choice. A lot of you are building your brand right now based on trying to sell food. That wherever I come in contact with your brand, it's all about me, eat, drink. If that is how you plan on creating your sole existence, it is going to wear off really quick. It's like a friend of mine that called me recently, and he called me up with the same bullshit sales pitch they get from corporate America when they're going to sell you life insurance. Hey man, I want to pick your brain. I'm new to this new job. I want to see if we can sit down and have a cup of coffee. I want to ask you some questions and get some vision of how you got where you are in your career. And I've heard this thing like 100 times. It's the exact script. And I let him do his thing. And I hung up. We went on our way. And I was on a walk. I remember it, man. I was on my street, walking tic-tac, or little Yorkie, heading down past my house, and I called him back. And I said, Kyle, can I give you some advice? He goes, yeah, what? I said, well, what you just called and did to me is a script that you were given to by your new employer. And you can hear the silence. So there is no brain picking. There is none of this or that. It's all BS. You want to get in front of me and start talking to me about selling me insurance. Yeah, you're right. How'd you know this? I'm like, because I've had the same call 50 times. Now, I'm going to do you a favor. I like you. I think you like me. I want to help you out. You need to get rid of that script. You need to figure out a way to be 100% genuine, because everybody you've already called and everybody you're going to call the next couple weeks with this exact crap is going to realize exactly what you're doing, and it's going to hurt your reputation with your friends, and they're not going to buy from you. Because number one, why the hell would I buy something from you? You've never sold it before, and you're brand new. You have no clue. And we've all been approached by this. So ask yourself, is that how you're perceived to the community with your restaurant? Are you only relevant when it comes to buying something? I want to build a brand of relevance when it comes to helping people personally. I've had 3 text messages today from this podcast because I put my number out there. It's in the description of every podcast. Every other one, I think, has a commercial, or I guess you could say an announcement where it has it in there. And those conversations aren't sales. They're genuine. They text me questions. I answer. I hop on a phone call. What are you doing? Why are you doing it? How can I help? Boom, cool. If it makes sense down the road, we could have a conversation. I'm not even in the sales department. But I made a decision a few years ago to stop selling. And it was a hard one, because that's what I'm built to do. You as a restaurant owner are built to sell food, but you're also built to sell hospitality. You're built to build community. And so I want you to get out of your own way, and I want you to start thinking about, are you building a relevant brand in your community, or are you simply just advertising? That's all I got. See you next time. So as you know, I don't charge for my content. We don't have sponsors. We don't have product placement in here. But what I want your help with is spreading the word. If you're finding value here, do me a favor. Share this on your social media. Share an episode with something that made sense to you, that's relevant to your restaurant, that you got value from, and tag Matt Plapp and America's Best Restaurants. Also, go to America's Best Restaurants on Facebook and on Google and leave us a review. Let us know the impact we've had on your restaurant with our roadshow, with our marketing help, or with our podcast. And last but not least, if you want to take the next step and help me out a lot and help us out a lot, text me a testimonial, 859-743-2408. That's my cell. A selfie video would be awesome about the impact this content or our company is having on your independent restaurant. But worst case scenario, just a few kind words. The way we can help lift this industry up is to help get content like this to more independent restaurant owners, and you are the key to spreading the word. I appreciate your support. Have an amazing day.